Tupelo, the parking lot starts filling up on Wednesday mornings before the sun shines on American Legion Post 49. George Bogardus, 74, of Saltillo, is usually the first to arrive because he has a job to do. "I'm here about 4:30 and I make about 100 cups of coffee," Bogardus said. "They love their coffee." He wasn't always an early riser, but the Army changed his ways, just as military service did for many of the other veterans who gather for weekly breakfast meetings in Tupelo. "It's open to all veterans, not just members of the Legion," Bogardus said. "We've got guys who come from Union County, from Pontotoc and a couple from Itawamba County too. On special occasions, like when the national commander visits, there will be a full breakfast spread with eggs, bacon and the works, but the usual fare is sausage biscuits from Dodge's and Hardee's. Everybody donates, like $2, Bogardus said. That barely covers it. We don't make anything off of it." The high water mark was about 200 people who came to hear from a candidate running for Congress. The usual crowd is around 40. And the main attraction is fellowship, a chance to catch up with friends and swap stories. "We talk about things," said Robert Davis, 90, who attends every week. "We try to solve the world's problems," said Marcel Crudell, 77. "We try to avoid politics, but sometimes we can't help it. We also check on people who aren't here," 84-year-old Jacques Prather said. "Normally, people sit in the same place. I've been sitting at the end of this table for years, so you know when somebody's not here." Each meeting has an opening prayer followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Some salute, others put hands over hearts. Then John Repault, 70, of Tupelo, takes over the microphone to share news and jokes. "I'm a humorist, I guess." "That sounds good," he said. "I look for interesting things all week, and guys send me jokes. Not just guys here. I've got guys around the nation sending jokes." His first order of business on a recent Wednesday was to make sure everyone had seen American Legion members Harry Armstrong and Ray Barrett featured in different stories in the Daily Journal. Then he ran through the day's birthdays and stopped to comment on the fact actress, singer, and dancer Mitzi Gaynor from South Pacific and There's No Business Like Show Business had turned 86. "Who remembers when Mitzi Gaynor was on the scene?" he said. "She was something else." Repault also shared a story taken from police reports about a woman who complained of bullet holes in the passenger side of her vehicle. Her neighbor said it had happened when he was shooting at a stray dog on her front porch. "He's looking out for her, isn't he?" Repault said. "Not all of his jokes land, but most do. Laughs are the only payment he gets, but Repault said that's fine with him. Sometimes, they might be under the weather or not feeling good," he said, "so it's good to put a smile on their faces." Bogardus said the breakfast started informally with veterans of the 31st Infantry Division, also known as the Dixie Division, meeting at the mall at Barnes Crossing Food Court. That was in 2004. Then Tony Lute invited them to meet at the Veterans Museum, which was in the mall then, Bogardus said. "It just sort of grew. It got so darn big they had to put out tables in the hallway. When Lute moved his museum to Arendun's City Museum at Ballard Park, he didn't have room to host everyone, so the breakfast crowd started meeting at the American Legion building. That arrangement lasted until April 28, 2014. When the Tupelo tornado turned the building into rubble. But we didn't skip a beat," Bogardus said. "The next Wednesday, we met at the DAV building. After checking with churches and restaurants, the group found a temporary home at East Heights Baptist Church in Tupelo. It seemed like a natural thing," said Bro. Tim Brown, pastor of East Heights. "We were asked, and they started coming. It was that simple. We enjoyed it. I enjoyed it too. That's why I come here when I can." The breakfast meetings moved into the new American Legion building in January. "Almost everybody's pleased with the change. I still miss the old building," Davis said. "Sometimes, when you get old, you forget the flaws," said Dick Hill, 80. Navy veteran Ruth Brunner, 60, is a relative newcomer. She joined the Legion about 4 years ago and recently was voted adjutant in charge of membership. "I started coming to the breakfast so I could put faces to names," she said. "I try to sit at different places. I'll try to slip in there and start talking and get to know them. We have that common background of the military, so we know what we're talking about." While Brunner changes places from week to week, Kenny Keith, 67, stays in the same spot. He knows where he's supposed to be on Wednesday mornings. "I might miss 2 times a year when I'm sick or something," he said. Keith is never alone. Out of loyalty or habit, the chairs fill up from week to week. If Christmas and New Year's Day fall on Wednesday, the meetings will be cancelled. "Otherwise, we are open," Bogardus said. But no matter how good the conversations are, people can linger over coffee and sausage biscuits for only so long. Eventually, the breakfast gathering ends and the parking lot starts to empty well before the sun finishes burning the mist off nearby Legion Lake.